Hi guys, it's Mr. Rowe here and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be starting a brand new series called What School Doesn't Teach You About. Now this is going to be a series of videos to help you learn the important life lessons that I wish I'd have known when I was younger so you can get ahead of everybody else. Now this is the first video in that series, so make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can catch all of them. We're going to be starting with an absolute fundamental gap in most people's financial arsenal, and that is how to manage your income when you get paid. And in this video, we're going to go over 5 easy steps on how to do that. So you're probably wondering, well, why do I need to manage my income? So most people, when their money hits their account, they just sort of spend their money as and when they need to with no real plan. Now, this can very quickly lead to your money running away from you and not leaving very much money for your future self. Trust me, I've been there. Now, for a bit of context, in the UK, 41% of people have less than £1,000 saved, and 32% of people have less than £500 saved. And there are so many people across the world who are living paycheck to paycheck every single month. So that's why in this video, I'm going to go over some basic money management that I wish I knew when I was younger, when I had my first job, and maybe I wouldn't have wasted so much money. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Here are 5 easy steps to manage your income like a pro. So just before I go over these steps, you need to get yourself into the right mindset, one of paying yourself first. After we get paid, most of us are told that the first thing we need to think about are our mortgage or rent payments, our bills, our food costs, our travel costs, etc. And these are very, very important. No doubt about it, 100%. However, we should also be thinking about our future just as much as our current needs to avoid living paycheck to paycheck every month, and so that we can increase our wealth over time. This is going to help future you have enough money to live comfortably and to retire at the age that you want to. So what exactly do I mean by paying yourself first? So as soon as your money hits your current account, a portion of that is going to go straight into debt management, savings and investments. Think of this as you essentially paying yourself money that is just for future you. Trust me, you'll thank yourself in the years to come. And we'll be going over how much this should be later on in the video. So let's get over to that first step. So step number 1 is going to be saving £2,000 ASAP, as soon as possible. Now this is going to be your first priority, creating an emergency fund in a separate savings account. Now this money is not for the latest iPhone, it is not for Gucci trainers, it is not for a holiday, it is specifically reserved for those tough situations like when, for example, your car breaks down, or you need a new boiler, or you have a vet bill, or a worst case scenario, you lose your job. Or even worse still, a few of these expenses all come at once and you're then forced to use a credit card or a payday loan. Now, a new boiler can cost anywhere between £600 and £2,000. The average car repair bill can be around £600, and average vet surgery bills can be up to and over £1,500. So this £2,000 is your safety net in case of these dire situations. Now, this money needs to be liquid and available 24/7. So not tied up in investments or anywhere else for that matter. You need to be able to have access to it at all times. So this emergency fund is essential and you need to get there as soon as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to work out what your essential costs are each month. You're then going to deduct that from your monthly income, and then whatever's left over, you're going to take as much of that as possible and deposit that into a separate savings account and leave it alone. So for example, if you get paid £2,000 a month and your monthly expenses are around £1,200 a month, you're going to take as much of that £800 that's left over and deposit it into that emergency fund and leave it alone. You're not going to touch it. So step number 2 is going to be paying off your debts. So this includes credit cards, loans, overdraft, etc. Now, the reason this is step number 2 and not step number 1 is because if you're paying a lot of money towards your debts and you have a big expense come up, like your car breaks down and you need £600 to pay it, if you don't have that cash on hand, you're then going to be looking towards your credit cards or going deeper into overdraft or having to take out a loan. So instead, just pay the smallest amounts towards your debts in the meantime until you have that £2,000 saved up, and then you can get more aggressive with clearing your debts. So that £2,000 is essential. Now that we've done that, we can now get rid of that money draining debt. The money that you're paying towards these companies is making them very, very wealthy in the interest and making your financial wealth suffer. So now, what you're going to do is that money that you were previously putting towards your savings account, you're now going to put towards clearing your debt. This is not only going to improve your financial situation and your credit score, it's also going to reduce the burden on your head, reduce your stress, and improve your mental health. I've been there before, and it is truly horrible having all of that debt looming over you. Step number 3 is going to be invest your money. So now that you've got that £2,000 saved up, you've paid off all those high interest debts, congratulations, because now it's time to start building your wealth for your future. This is the best and safest position to now start doing this. So don't even think about this step unless you've completed the previous 2. Now, as soon as we get paid, as soon as that money hits our account, we're going to take 15% of it and deposit straight into a separate account. So for example, if you make £1,000, £150 of that is going to go into this account. Now this account can be a current account, a savings account, and your money can automatically go into this. The fact that this is separate means you're not going to spend it on anything else. So now, the type of investment that this is really depends on you and your risk tolerance and where you are in life. So for example, you could make an investment into books and classes to invest in yourself. Your brain is your most valuable asset and nobody can take that away from you. You could also make an investment into your own business, so creating it or funding it, or you could take your 15% and put that into an ISA or stocks and shares or into real estate. As long as this money is working for you, that is perfect. Step number 4 is to keep saving. So now that we're in a much better financial position and we have some of our money working for us, it's now time to start thinking about continuing to build on our wealth. So we've got 15% going into our investments. We're now going to take another 10% of our income and put that into that same savings account with the £2,000 in it. Continuing to build this is going to prepare us for anything that life throws at us. So we're going to slowly build this account until we have around 3 to 6 months of our monthly salary in it. So for example, if you earn £2,500 a month, you're going to aim for £7,500 in savings. This is going to give you a nice comfortable buffer zone no matter what happens. But for example, if you've saved up over a year's worth of salary, at that point you should be starting to think to put more of that money into investments. This is because your money will decrease in value due to inflation if it's sitting around doing nothing. Now inflation is where our money reduces in buying power by around 2.5% each year, but that's a subject for a whole other video. Our 5th and final step is to spend your money wisely. Now that you have some great spending habits on how to pay yourself, it's now time to start thinking about that remaining 75% of income left over from your 15% in investments and 10% in savings. Now this is a really important one to stop and think about, because you'll be doing this step continuously alongside the previous 4. And that's because this 75% of your income is going to be going towards your needs and your wants. And it's really important to distinguish between the two. You need a phone, but you want the latest and greatest one. You need to eat, but you want that takeaway. You need clothes, but you want the designer ones. Realizing the differences between these two and holding yourself accountable is really going to help you make those smarter spending decisions. So next time you're about to buy something, especially if it's expensive, stop and take a while to think about it. Do I really need this? Is this purchase really necessary right now? And you'll be surprised about how many times you'll find yourself wanting to buy something, but that you really just don't need. Congratulations, you've now taken all the basic steps needed to confidently manage your income. So just to recap, You're going to first save £2,000 no matter what. This is your emergency fund. Number 2, you're going to get rid of all that high interest debt, which is going to make your life so much more comfortable. You're then going to invest 15% of your income, which is going to compound over time, making you more wealth in the long run. Number 4 was to keep saving that 10% of your income until you have those 3 to 6 months of your monthly income saved up. And finally, step number 5 was to spend your money wisely. So that 75% of income on needs and wants, just thinking about how you can make those smarter spending decisions so you can be managing your money like a pro. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe and share. And let me know down in the comments below if there's anything you would like to add to this guide and if you found this helpful. Take care everyone and keep grinding.